Hey guys, Waterfowler41 here, and in today's video we're going to be kicking off the lighting upgrade that I'll be doing to my 2023 Raptor. So this is going to be a multi-part series, mostly because there's going to be a lot of work involved in this and I don't want to cram it all into one video. Maybe I'll make a highlight reel at the end, we'll see. But today's video is just going to be, hey, here's what my plan is for the Raptor. So getting back to the truck, the plan is to do everything right, to make it look as OEM as possible, and to do it all at the same time. With the Rebel, I was kind of adding things here and there. I don't want to do that because when you do that and you have all these wire runs, it starts to look like a rat's nest. I wanted to do things right, so I basically picked up all the parts I need and we're going to knock it out kind of all at once or over a few weekends here. But let's get into what I'll be installing on the Raptor. I did tease it in my last video, but let's dive into a little bit more details as to what everything is and where it's all going to live. We'll start with the lights. So in the front, we're going to have two packages per se of lights. So we got these SS5s from Diode Dynamics. I'm going to be running 4 of them. My guess is by the end of this project, I'm eventually going to pick up a 5th one because I think it'll just fill in the front end much better. But we're going to run the SS5s on the front, and those will be mounted on some brackets that I picked up from 4x4 truck LEDs. I'll leave a link down to these guys in the description below. But ultimately, these pods will mount right about there, and those brackets will fit in right through these little joints here. So we're gonna have to disassemble some of the front end, but that'll give you a taste of where those SS5s are going. On my Rebel, I had SS5s in the same location. Absolutely love the coverage that they gave me, so picked up 2 additional ones. They're all still in the driving pattern. They're the SS5 Pros, but I think that's gonna give me a ton of nice coverage in the front of the truck. Then up above that, we have my SS3 Max pods. So these are the 3-inch pods. These are not the ones that are backlit. I know the new ones are. These are my old school OG ones. But these guys are going to be mounted on some Diode Dynamics A-pillar brackets, and they're going to go right here. I did like these, and I think if you are looking at one sort of light upgrade for your truck and you're not going to spend all the money on every possible light kit you can get, A-pillars are the way to go because they're up high enough and they're off to the side. They give you the most usable light. And again, these are in driving pattern. So SS3 Max pods on Diode Dynamics A-pillar brackets. These are for the F-150. They will fit my truck. And then an SS5 crosslink kit, because I have the kit to actually connect these guys. This is going to go up front, mounted on these brackets, which are from 4x4 truck LEDs. They're going to slip behind the bumper and give me the ability to mount 4 to 5 of these SS5 Pros. That is the front lighting. The rear lighting is going to be really simple. It's just chase lights. And like I said, I teased this in the last one, but now that we have, we'll go on this side. Now that we have that X4 TS truck or tonneau cover that has the T-slot rails, we have the option to mount chase lights right here. So that's what we'll end up doing. We'll run a wire from the switch panel all the way up here and it'll power these guys. Not so concerned about the coverage in these. I just like the fact that they have red backlighting in them, and they are nice to have some lights in the back if you need to get anyone's attention behind you. But anyway, chase lights, ditch lights, front grille lights. Right now, that is the extent of everything. In the future, do I think I'm going to add more? Probably. Like I said, I'll probably add a 5th pod in the front, and I might find a new solution for the fog lights here because not a huge fan of those rigid pods there. I really don't feel like they do too much. Now, as far as integrating this stuff into the factory aux control panel, that's where this comes in. So I built out a custom relay panel, and essentially what this is a few easy plug-in options for me. So what this allows me to do is, with this relay panel, it'll allow me to integrate the powering of these lights into the factory aux switches that are mounted inside the cab of the Raptor. So just a quick high level, and I'll dive into more details in this in the next video where we're going to go through wiring. But you have your trigger wires, so the wires in the truck coming out of the factory switch. So when I flip it on, it provides power to those trigger wires. Those are going to all plug in here, and I'll add a 6-pin connector on the other side. That's going to tell the relay to turn on for each respective circuit. I have 6 of them here on the 801A package trucks with the front rigid pods. Switch 1 is already utilized for the rigid pod in the beginning. So what I'll do is I'll repurpose relay 1 in this for my backlighting because there's backlighting in these guys and there's backlighting in that. So I'll use the relay to control that. We'll cover that in the wiring. I'll show you the wiring diagram, but that's why I have 6 relays, but only essentially 5 usable circuits on my truck. So trigger wires, they turn on, they'll plug in here. They'll tell the relays when to turn on and off. Once the relays turn on, we have power here. This is going to connect to the battery through a 200 amp breaker. We have ground here. This is going to connect to the ground where all of the factory trigger wires are ground to. And then we have all of these wires. So I have 6 wires here right now. These are all the outputs. So what these will do is connect into the positive wire on any of my pod strings. And this is what's going to tell the lights to turn on. So when I turn on, let's say relay 2, switch 2 is going to provide power to here. And that's going to turn on whatever lights I have on there. I'm going to try to keep these on switch 2, these guys on switch 3, and then those I'll put on switch 6. So I have the rear lights all the way at the far end of my switch panel so I don't ever confuse them. But anyway, this is the plan. Let's do wiring first. We're going to install this guy in the next video. Then what I'll do is I'll install these brackets in the video after that. And then we'll start talking through how to wire everything. Like I said, the one or two things that I may change as I go through this project is I might add an additional SS5 in the front here. So right in the middle, maybe we just add a spot in the middle. And then I may end up picking up some sort of kit or upgrade for the fog light kit. But ultimately, this video is just to give you an idea of all the parts that I'm using. I've been teasing shots of this on my Instagram. I would definitely encourage you to follow me along there because I'm posting a lot of pictures of the work in progress. But I'll talk through more details and I'll share a wiring diagram in the next video. But with that said, that's just the overview on my lighting plan. Stick around for the ride. It's going to be fun. Let me know if you have any questions here. Maybe this will inspire you to do some lighting projects on your truck. But with that said, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it. Subscribe, comment below. See you in the next video.